What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Christian Marenko, and this is Come Talk Sports. Today we'll be talking about the Denver Broncos and the red-hot streak. We'll be talking about the in-season tournament and the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll be talking about the Dodgers and them signing Ohtani, the college playoff race, and what future holds for Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams in the draft this year. Let's get started with the Denver Broncos, shall we? Denver has had a massive turnaround from starting 1-5 and from getting blown out 70-20 against the Dolphins. This is incredible to see that once that defense finally turned it up after that Dolphins and Bears game, because they were losing to Chicago 20-0 at halftime. That was embarrassing, and that's where they turned it on. That defense found a way to start winning games, to start locking down these offensive players. Just incredible to see. Because I won't lie, like I said earlier this year with my friend Carter, Denver should have destroyed the team. We should have traded Russ, should have traded Sutton, Judy, PS2, just to build a brand new roster, because I was so afraid after that Dolphins game. This roster was stressing me out. But now that we're getting big wins against teams like the Bills, the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Browns, just an amazing sight for Denver to see. They rushed the ball so well against the number one defense in the league, the Cleveland Browns. They beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But the Chiefs haven't been anything special this year. Let's be honest, Denver's one game behind now from taking that division away from them. They could possibly win it too. It's incredible to see that. We haven't won the division since 2015-16 season, and I'm excited to see what Denver does. They got 4 remaining games, and this Saturday they play the Lions. Lions have been on a slump though. I like my chances on Denver this Saturday. And I like my chances with Amon-Ra against Patrick Surtain. I think PS2 locks that shit up. Amon-Ra has no chance. I think the Lions take another loss and Denver continues that hot streak. And their last remaining games, I'm not worried about the Las Vegas Raiders. That team is dog shit. The Chargers, they just lost Justin Herbert for the rest of the year. That's another W. And the Patriots, what is Bailey Zappi going to do against us? I'm not worried about any of those teams, to be honest. The one team I am worried about is the Lions. But other than that, give Denver the rest of the wins the rest of the year. I'm liking my chances on that. And the Chiefs, they got the 4 easiest games remaining on their schedule. They're playing the Bengals, who I think is going to be a pretty tough team. Even with Joe Burrow out, I think the Bengals will give a run for their money. If the Bengals do win that game, the Broncos will be winning that division. I like my chances with Denver this year. And again, like I said, massive improvement from the team overall. I'm excited to see what the future holds, especially with Timmy Patrick coming back next year and Sean Payton just rebuilding the roster each year. Great head coaching job overall. He should definitely win head coach of the year, and Russ should win comeback player of the year. His numbers have been phenomenal. Yes, he's not throwing the ball a lot, but he's still doing everything we need him to do to win games. He's been playing phenomenal ball. I will say Jerry Jeudy should step up his game. Sutton has been phenomenal, though, in the end zone. He's been a demon back there, just mossing dudes left and right. Sutton's been a monster for TDs, and he's just been a reliable option this year. Denver did get a massive win over the Chargers on Sunday, 24-7, and the momentum just keeps on riding. I think, like I said, Denver will get the win on Saturday, and I think they do clinch the playoffs this year. And I think they get that 5th seed, to be honest, because I don't think the Browns will hold up with Joe Flacco. I'm excited to see how it turns out. Let's move on to the in-season tournament with the Los Angeles Lakers winning it this year. The Lakers have been an amazing team in the in-season tournament. Not so much in the beginning of the season. The Lakers are kind of failing me, man. I was worried about the team. And when we put Austin on the bench, I was pretty iffy about the move, but it's been working pretty well so far. The Lakers dominated that in-season tournament. They went 6-0. And the in-season tournament was great for the NBA as it created a lot more propaganda for them, a lot more profit, and they definitely brought in more viewers around the world. People definitely want to see these players competing in the season, and that's what we want from these guys as well. We pay to watch them. We don't pay for them to just sit around and load manage. That's just boring. We pay to see these guys, and I'm so happy that this in-season tournament created competition for these guys like LeBron, Giannis, Dame Dalla, Curry, Jokic, the list goes on. These guys are putting on a show in the in-season tournament. LeBron winning an MVP in the in-season tournament and bringing another championship to the purple and gold. Just an amazing sight to see. I'm excited to see what the Lakers keep on doing. And I think this proved that the Lakers are not a team to be played with in the playoffs. The only team I am worried about are the Denver Nuggets. Phenomenal team. Jokic is just so hard to guard, and Anthony Davis has had trouble guarding that man. But I think that's the only team that blocks us from winning the championship this year. Because other than that, I don't think a team in the East will beat us. Philly, come on, man. You guys keep choking it every year. Boston, nah, you guys will probably lose in the Eastern Conference Finals. Give me the Bucks in the finals. I think we beat them in 6 if we beat the Nuggets in the Western Conference Championship. I'm excited to see what this Lakers team does, though, and I'm excited to see the future of the in-season tournament. Definitely a great sight for the fans and the players, and definitely a great first experience for this program overall. Let's move on to the Dodgers. They signed Ohtani, great baseball player. I'm excited to see what the Dodgers do. For my way early prediction, I think they'll win the World Series. I know the Dodgers are famous for choking in the playoffs, but overall, they got a great roster now. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Ohtani now. That's going to be unstoppable. Who's going to stop them? I think the Braves have a shot, but other than that, I don't think anyone's going to stop them. The Dodgers look unstoppable. I'm excited to see what they do. That's my way early prediction. I think the Dodgers win the World Series, and they're unstoppable this year. They're not going to choke in the playoffs. That's my way early prediction for the Dodgers. Let's see what they do this year. Let's move on to the college playoffs. I think FSU got snubbed out of the playoffs. They did everything they needed, and the committee just said, fuck it, we're not going to put them in the playoffs. They literally just flipped FSU off, which was just angering. That angered me. There are seniors and juniors on that team who worked hard for that, and they just got snubbed out. They won their conference. They went undefeated. What more do you want from the team? Yes, there have been examples of teams who went undefeated or lost that one game, and they got smothered in the playoffs. But come on, man. Like, Florida State deserves it. And like I said, there were examples. TCU lost 65-7 against Georgia, but they beat Michigan. Michigan, though, is definitely a choke artist in the playoffs. So I'm not surprised they beat Michigan in the playoffs. Cincinnati made it with an undefeated record, but Cincy didn't even deserve to be there. But FSU, I mean, they just took him out because Jordan Travis got hurt. That's not fair. Jordan Travis, yes, great player, but FSU did everything they needed. Like I said, they won their conference. They went undefeated without their starting quarterback. They beat Louisville. Great team overall, too. Louisville was like 10th in the country. You just can't take that away from Florida State. They put a lot of time and effort into this, and the committee to just take it away from that, like, fuck you guys. This is why I say the NFL is better than college ball overall. But I will say this: I like the playoff picture. I like what I'm seeing. I like everything about it. To be honest, there's definitely competition there now. Texas plays Washington and Alabama plays Michigan. I think Alabama will fuck Michigan in the first round. Michigan isn't nothing special. Yes, I'm a diehard Ohio State fan, and I won't lie. Great game out of you guys. You beat us. But Kyle McCord, he's not a great quarterback. He's a moderate quarterback at best. Marvin Harrison Jr. made this guy look amazing on the field. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a once-in-a-generational talent out there, and he made Kyle McCord look like a stud. But put Kyle McCord on any other roster, he's performing pretty mid or dog shit. He's nothing special in my opinion, and Michigan only beat that team by 6. Ohio State's defense was phenomenal this year. Wide receiving core was phenomenal. Mekabuka, Stover, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Tarnell Tate, all great players. Running back core, Trayvon Henderson, phenomenal. Just great. Your quarterback position was falling out. I kind of had a feeling we were going to lose to Michigan this year. But I think Michigan loses this year again to Alabama in the first round. I think Michigan chokes again like they do every year. Choke artists. I'm not impressed by that team at all. I think they're just going to lose to Saban and those boys. Saban advances to his next NCAA double champion. And Harmberg and those boys just keep crying. Roman Wilson, you said Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't tough. I'd like to see your clown ass be in that conversation of the best wide receiver in the nation. You're a clown, Roman Wilson. Like, go fuck yourself respectfully. But I'm excited to see what the first round looks like. Give me Alabama 40-20 against Michigan. And then in the next round, you got Texas and Washington. Both powerhouse teams. Washington looked phenomenal this year with Michael Penix Jr. And then you got Quinn on the other side. He's going to look phenomenal as well. But I think Texas gets the dub 35-30. That's going to be a powerhouse of a matchup. Both teams have played super well this year. And they played great competition. And again, Texas has that one win over Alabama. Their lost game against a great Oklahoma team. Alabama lost to Texas earlier this year. I think that's a rematch, and I think Alabama gets Texas in the NCAA football championship. They get their revenge back, and they take the trophy back to the SEC and back to Alabama. Final segment. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams might not declare for the draft. This is very surprising considering they're both predicted to be a first and a second overall pick, depending on what team gets that pick. In my opinion, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the safest pick to take in this year's draft. Quarterbacks in the past have not produced so well, and it's kind of hard to get that franchise quarterback. You have to build perfect rosters around them, and it takes time. If I'm the Bears and the Cardinals, I'm not taking Caleb Williams. I'm still building around Kyler Murray and Justin Fields. Those are great quarterbacks. You just have to build perfect rosters around them. They don't have to be perfect, but it just takes time to build good rosters around those players. Look at the Jags and Trevor Lawrence. They weren't great the first year or the second year, but they built around Trevor Lawrence, and they're balling out this year. It's a great-looking roster. They could do the same. Kyler Murray is not a bad quarterback. Same with Justin Fields. They have shown some flashes. They are great quarterbacks. Keep building around them. If Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't declare for the draft, that sucks. But there's still so many great skills players that you can build around these boys around with. Justin Fields and Kyler Murray, great quarterbacks, like I said. Definitely build around them. So many great players in the draft, like Blake Corum, to name a few. Brock Bowers. Just, you got so many studs in this year's draft. And if Marvin Harrison doesn't declare, it's not the end of the world. Same with Caleb Williams. You got so many great quarterbacks in this year's draft. Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, just to name a few. Jaden Daniels won Heisman this year. He is probably the best quarterback in this year's draft, in my opinion. And this might be a hot take. I think the worst quarterback in this year's draft, and he's predicted to go number 1 overall if Caleb doesn't declare. Drake May, I think, will be the worst quarterback in that draft. I think Michael Penix, Bo Nix, and Jaden Daniels will have better careers than Drake May if they all declare for the draft. I am excited to see what the draft looks like this year, and excited to see what Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams do, especially with the new NIL deals coming out now. Marvin Harrison Jr. is predicted to get a bag, same with Caleb Williams. If you guys want to stay in college, good for you. Marvin Harrison Jr., if you stay, just know you'll beat Michigan next year, man. I know that's what you've been wanting to do. You want to beat Michigan. You want to win the Big Ten Championship. You want to win the Natty. 3 great goals, man, and I love that. And I do think you beat Michigan next year. Michigan is going to suck so much. I know I'm being biased because I hate Michigan, but they're going to lose in the first round. Nothing special. J.J. McCarthy's overrated. Oh, I take that back. If J.J. McCarthy declares for the draft, Drake May is probably better than J.J. McCarthy. So J.J. will have the worst career in the NFL. Let's just say that. This is Come Talk Sports. Thank you guys. I'm your host, Christian Marenko. Have a good night.